feel like all old asylums are just universally creepy.
I know exactly what you mean, Jeff. I mean, as we walk by the old buildings of the Brattleboro Retreat Center, I can't help but think of some of the poor souls who may have been forced to live here in conditions that were, sometimes pretty rough.
We've mentioned before the expression, there but for the grace of God go I. I think all of us knows that somewhere deep inside that if things went differently for us or our loved ones, places like this Vermont hospital may have been the only choice.
Well, do you think that all old asylums are haunted?
I'm not sure about all of them, but if you believe the reports, this one is. Or at least parts of it are haunted.
All right, do you think it's even safe to go inside the building?
Some of these buildings are still in use as a psychiatric facility, but we're not going into any of the structures down here, Ray. We're heading up there. We're going into the woods outside the old hospital, searching for the haunted Brattleboro Retreat Tower. I'm Jeff Belanger, and welcome to episode 150 of the New England Legends podcast. You give us about 10 minutes, we'll give you something strange to talk about today.
And I'm Ray Auger. Thank you for joining us on our mission to chronicle every legend in New England one story at a time. Please hit the subscribe button because our weekly podcast is free.
It is.
And we don't want you to miss a single story.
And would also like to thank our Patreon patrons who are sponsoring this week's episode. For just $3 per month, they get early access to new episodes, plus bonus episodes and content that no one else gets to hear. Our patrons are the backbone of our mission, and we can't do this without you. So head over to patreon.com/New England Legends to sign up.
All right, Jeff, the Brattleboro Retreat Tower, it's haunted?
That's what they say.
Now, there's a network of trails around this old facility.
Yeah, I see the signs all around here.
If we're looking for the tower, it makes sense we're taking the Tower Road Trail up ahead. Oh, man, there it is.
It's kind of hard to miss, isn't it? It looks like a medieval castle turret.
And it's haunted?
That is what they tell us. Now, to figure out why, let's head back to 1834 and set this up. It's October 13th, 1834, and Anna Hunt Marsh of Hinsdale, New Hampshire, isn't feeling so good. The very next day, she dies.
And while that's sad for her family and friends, there is a silver lining. Or maybe I should say a golden lining, because Anna has left the sum of $10,000 to the community in order to build a Vermont asylum for the insane. This is the first hospital of its kind in Vermont, and only the 10th to be built in the United States.
This facility is patterned on the Quaker concept called moral treatment. It's a bold departure on how the mentally ill are usually cared for.
Cared for isn't the right term at all, Jeff.
Right.
I mean, up to now, many mentally ill people are kept in jails or prisons, or literally locked away in the basements or attics of family homes. It's awful.
The Vermont Asylum for the Insane promises dignity and respect, a family-like atmosphere including work for the patients, good nutrition, and daily exercise. By 1836, there are 48 patients living at the facility located in Brattleboro.
For a while, things are good and simple. The staff are delivering on their promise of a human and humane atmosphere, but when you have a good thing...
Pretty soon, others are going to want in on it.
By the mid-1880s, the population swells to 450 patients.
And something else is happening in the mid-1880s, Ray.
Well, what's that?
It's the 50th anniversary of the founding of the asylum.
Got it. Making it 50 years and growing as much as this hospital has grown means they must be doing something right.
Enter Dr. Joseph Draper. He's the superintendent of the Brattleboro Retreat Center and a big advocate for outdoor recreation for his patients. Now, Dr. Draper became superintendent in 1873, and with the 50th anniversary happening, he lobbies for the construction of a castle-like structure that'll overlook the entire hospital campus and the surrounding community. Construction begins in 1887. Many of the patients are helping with the building project.
They find the bricks and stones from local quarries and start laying the foundation. Then brick by brick and stone by stone, they continue until they stop.
They stop?
They stop. For 5 years, the project sits on the shelf.
Or on the hillside in this case.
Right. Then in 1892, something else happens.
What now?
Dr. Draper dies after serving as superintendent for 21 years. Of course, his colleagues and patients are sad. But then they think of the perfect way to honor him. They get back to work on the tower project.
But this time, they see it through. all the way up to 65 feet high, complete with 500-pound granite blocks forming the coins, or those jaggedy stone rims of the castle turret.
I mean, the view is breathtaking up here, Jeff.
It is.
Look, I can see downtown Brattleboro to the southeast.
And there's the Connecticut River right to our east.
And right there, we can see the entire hospital complex. It's an incredible view up here.
Well, hey, easy, Ray. Don't get too close to the edge.
Thanks for the warning, Jeff. But this wall is plenty high enough. If I wanted to jump from here, I'd have to, really make an effort.
Yeah.
Oh, man, don't tell me.
Well, the thing about mental illness is that it's difficult to know or understand what's happening inside someone else's mind. The torment can be awful and drive people to do awful things. There's stories of suicides here, Ray.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Suicide always is.
And it'll haunt us.
So let's head back down to the facility's burial ground.
Now, there's not a lot to see here. It's not a big area. There's a few small headstones. Man, I can't help but wonder if any suicide victims are buried here.
So check out this stone. It's one of the most visited graves in this whole little cemetery. The epitaph is haunting.
It's the headstone of Sara Cully. She died December 17th, 1854, at 34 years of age.
The eye of him that hath seen me shall come no more. Why hast thou set in me a mark against thee, so that I am a burden to myself? And why dost thee not pardon my transgression and take away mine iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and thou shalt seek me in the morning, but I shall not be.
She wrote her own epitaph.
That really sounds like someone who knew her end was near.
It does, but she died in 1854. The tower, it wasn't built yet. So that can't be how she met her end.
Maybe someone else here died from jumping off the tower?
Well, it's possible, but I can find no record. And that brings us back to today.
So today people talk about the Brattleboro Retreat Tower being haunted.
They do, and it has all the elements, right? I mean, it's in a remote spot. It sticks out. It's part of an old asylum.
And when you look at how tall it is, it's clear that a fall or jump from the top would be fatal.
So people assume someone must have jumped, and that ghost still haunts this structure.
So there's no record of any jumpers?
Not that I could find, but I did find this newspaper article from the June 2nd, 1923 Rutland Daily Herald. It turns out that the day before, the body of Carl Dodge, a Metropolitan Opera House cellist, was discovered right here at the base of the tower. Dodge was being treated for a nervous breakdown.
But he didn't jump to his death?
No. A revolver was found right near his body. But still, it's ruled a suicide, and it happened right here at the tower.
And almost a century later, we're still talking about this tower being haunted.
In the 1980s, some vandals broke into the tower, made it all the way to the top, and pushed off those stone coins off the turrets, which only added to the mystery.
Thankfully, in recent years, a local group of masons gathered up the fallen stones and worked to get them placed back to the top of the structure. But still, the haunted reputation lives on.
And this is one of those unique cases where the legend proves to be mostly true. I mean, there was a suicide here by a patient of the mental hospital. Though he didn't jump from the tower, it really doesn't matter. He took his own life. And he took it right here at the base of a tower, conceived by a doctor who believed that when mentally despondent people do good work with their hands outside in the fresh air, it helps.
And this haunted legend has us talking about the important subject of suicide in a place where it's happened before, near a hospital built and designed to try to keep it from happening again. My hope for all of us is that the ghost of the Brattleboro Retreat Tower continues to haunt us.
Friends, if you're struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 to get help. We care about and appreciate each and every one of you and want to keep you around for a long time.
Jeff, sometimes a legend is more than just a legend, isn't it?
So true. And we love it when you folks reach out to us. You should join our super secret Facebook group. Tell a friend or two about our show, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd post a review of our show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. Those reviews, they really go a long way in helping other people find our show.
We'd like to thank Lorna Nagara for lending her voice acting talents this week, and our theme music is by John Judd.
Hi, this is Sandy Nichols from Clinton, Massachusetts. Until next time, remember, the bazaar is closer than you think.